ourselves some delicious sauerkraut today. Here's the contents of what's in the recipe. Pause here if you want to see how to make it. Right, we grab some cabbage, rip off the two old moldy dirty leaves on the outside, then we quarter it and we cut out the core because the core is kind of hard and not so delicious. So we cut a piece of core out and then we proceed by chopping up these cabbages. We don't use a metal knife or stainless steel knife because the nickel will stop the fermentation process. So only wooden tools, plastic tools, that's all. Right now we got 2 cabbages chopped up. We take 2% Himalayan salt by weight. We add some 4 to 8 coriander seeds, also 2 to 3 cloves, some cumin seeds we're adding in there. Take half an apple for taste. The sugar will ferment away. Chop it up after you core it. In the mix we take 1 big carrot. We're going to julienne the carrot, so we're going to chop it up into little strips. There we go. Add that all into the mix. Gives it extra flavor and crunch. Then we want some green peppercorns. I usually leave some in olive oil. I call them pimento. Some prior sauerkraut juice from a previous batch just to start it. It's optional, but it starts this fermentation off nice and quick. Then we can work it through, break it up. Now we want to take a spring onion. 4 or 5 spring onions, chop them up, they extra zest, put them in there, mix the whole thing through, and we're going to grab 2 16-ounce jars and fill this up with our sauerkraut, which is now kind of sweaty and pulling water from the Himalayan salt. So we pack this down nicely with a wooden spoon, press down. We don't want any air in here because air will cause rotting instead of fermentation. We're going to store these things in a room temperature, dark place, mimicking what happens inside our gut. That's where the lactobacillus likes most. It's starting to make its own juice, so we pack it down nicely. You'll see in the plastic container there's some juice that I've already pulled out of the cabbage. We're going to add that back in. We want about 2 inches from the top so the thing can swell up. When it ferments, it kind of gets a little bit swollen and puffs up. So there's our juice that goes in from this batch. Nicely in there. Now we have to pack these things down. We have these little glass packs, or we can use a cover leaf with a little jiffy bag with water in, and the regular not tightly sealed lid. I have these special lids that seal nicely. They got a little burp valve that can exhale but it cannot inhale, so we put it on nicely there. They're a little tricky, and then we take a pump and we pump out or suck out the air like that, and then it's in a vacuum. Now it's ideal and there's no mold or anything that can grow. If you ever get some little moldiness on top when you open it up, then you can just scrape it off and it's still perfect to eat it. 2 weeks and you can start chewing, enjoying. After a month it's great. It can last for 2 years on the shelf. Refrigerate once you started using it. I just rinse off the jars and we are done. Voila! Make yourself some sauerkraut, some kimchi, some water kefir, kombucha, lacto-fermented berries. Also opt into www.compassvitalhealth.com and subscribe to our website and Facebook to learn about all the other super healthy foods you can ferment and many other health tips too. See you next time.